Hello,
Okay,
hello,
let me.
hello.
Okay, let me ask. Let me give you some ideas
It's live
about
now.
World of
I don't
Warcraft.
need anything. We are live. We're going, boys. Hello, hello, hello.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Velati. I'm gonna turn off my music actually and put on some music for the environment, you know.
Go ahead, interview me. Let's go.
I'm turning on this little music here. There we go. Okay, Velati. Today we are here to start a podcast. This is the first of the series of World of Podcasts. Let's fucking go. Here we talk about World of Warcraft and we talk about life and anything in between. So let's start with a question.
Sure.
Who are you and why are you here today?
Bro, come on, man.
Sounds like a job interview.
Talk a little bit about yourself first. We need a little introduction for this podcast.
What do you know about me? Maybe you can give a little podcast introduction before I
Yeah, I
talk.
can. I will give you a little introduction. He's Velati.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best sticky on the ladder. He's a huge pumper. And he is not only a huge pumper, he's actually a good friend as well. And he's always keeping the mood good. Unless one time when he tilted. But let's take that out of here. But that was retail, so it doesn't even count anyway. So. But other than that, yeah, he's just a great guy to be around. I'm an enjoyer of Velati. Yeah, let me put it like that. Can you give me an introduction then?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Me? Give me one. Fucking idiot.
Ah. This is Shreddy, the beholder of the Kata PvP community.
Yeah?
A friend, a father, a sister.
A sister, holy shit. Realistic, man. What the fuck, man?
He's the king of the Danes and the king of the RBGs.
Let's go, team!
The connector of all. Beholder of the flame.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Now. Enough. That tongue can't get more brown
RBG
now.
tournament host.
Let's go. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. So let me give an introduction of both of us together then. Like, what does this make up? Like, I can be a bit retarded sometimes, and Velati is here to embrace that a bit, but also talk good, you know, like calm it down a bit, you know. So that's how we go around it. Let's start with some questions here for us today. It was funny when we talked the first time that we know we have both been into this PoE world. It's something we can talk a bit more about. Like, I would like to talk something about from PoE to WoW, to even to WoW Guard, and then to like a normal life. Like finding the life balance between all these different aspects. That would be a topic for today, I think. That could be a great one.
Okay.
Want to start? Or do I start?
What do you mean balance between the three?
It's just like first I played a lot of WoW in general back in the days and stuff, and then I wanted to, you know, meet some girls and have some fun, and I just picked up this PoE, pick-up artist stuff, and I embraced that for like years. But then I kind of tilted with that and just went back to WoW a lot, and now I just want to find something balanced. That's have a life where everything is just in there, but nothing is taking like too much time. Like right now WoW is taking too much time, and that's just how it is, but I would like to fix that as well, you know? If that makes sense. Some solution for me or for you, or how we can put it. What do you think about all this?
I think it's important to have a balance in everything, right? I think that creates the most happiness. I think if you swing too much in one direction, you will be a bit burnt out. Not be able to have the happiness when you wake up in the morning. You have to definitely get that balance.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of fun things out there, so tasting a bit of everything is nice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all.
Yeah, you can talk. Sorry, my bad.
It's all kind of connected, right? If you do too much gaming, then you miss out on the social aspect. And the quick way to get back into that is through like manipulation of the PUA stuff. And then if you do too much of that, then you miss like the personal hobby stuff and the identity stuff, or the, you know, maybe even social aspect, because it's not really social to pick up girls. It's more of like
Scripted.
side quest.
It's like scripted. It's like not following the story mode, but actually doing the side quests and yeah, reaching something else, you know.
Yeah.
But
And you don't get like social from it. But RBGs, you'll get social.
yeah, because I think if I can put my story into this, I think my problem with the POA was that I literally went so hard with it that I lost myself. I didn't have myself in it in the end, and I just got so like depressed and I felt really down because of it, even though I got kind of the results I wanted. But it was just not me, you know. It wasn't feeling right in some sense. So I don't know if you can relate to that, or you didn't, or how did you go around it?
No, I didn't isolate from WoW. I kind of combined it all. Like if I did PUA stuff, I would do it on my own. I didn't do it with other PUA people. So it was with like friends. And
Oh yeah, like that.
When you do like that, you're still having the friends aspect when you go out. I mean, I didn't probably do it as much as you, to be honest.
I just did it with new people always. Like I didn't do it with friends. I just did it with only PUA people that was into this. Like my friends, they kinda didn't want to do it, so I just had to meet new friends. Like people maybe don't know about this, how it worked and everything. Maybe we should give a little bit. I can talk about what actually happened. Like this was back from like 2010 when this all started. It's like, how long is this even ago? 14 years ago or something. Like holy shit, time flies by. But yeah, back then there was these forums, and there was this book. Let's start with the book first, because that's actually where it all started. There was this book called The Game by Neil Strauss and Mystery. It was actually by Neil Strauss, but Mystery, he was a big part of it. He was his pickup trainer, and I don't remember the book so clear, but I just remember that Mystery, he was the pickup artist guard, and Neil Strauss, he was learning from him, and then he was also getting way better with women and with magic tricks and everything in between that, I think. Do you remember it better than me?
I didn't read the book.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
I watched RSD mainly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but RSD, there was like, one of the guys in the book was called Tyler, and he made the RSD community afterwards. There was always, I felt like there was always some beef between the two, but in the end there wasn't really any way, because I've seen Tyler interview Mystery as well at some point, so that's not really.
Yeah, I remember that. I saw that recently. It was recently, yeah.
Yeah, that was recently. So.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because in the game book, Tyler, he's kind of like framed like not the bad guy, but we don't get a good view on him, like combined to what we do with Mystery, I think. Because they had this pickup, they had Project Hollywood, which was the place they lived together, like 5 or 6 pickup guys, and had this project where they lived in and went out and pick up chicks and stuff. I kind of had the same project at some point, where I had like this house where I had 2 friends living and me, and we just had the same project Aalborg, you know, and we just went out like that. And we went out actually 60 days in a row and stuff. That's my journey with this game. We had a 60 days challenge where we just went out and picked up as many girls as we could and hit on everyone. It was super funny, and it was okay successful, because it's like playing Blitz in retail. Like, it's a numbers game. Sometimes you get a good match, sometimes you don't, you know, get a good team. It's kind of like
how much did you spend? But like, it cost a lot too to go out and maybe have to buy those drinks, buy yourself drinks, or did you not drink?
I didn't drink most of the time. I actually cut drinking because I would get way more fat than I was already. So yeah, you know, I was actually pretty lean by then. I was pretty shredded, bro. I would show you pictures after, but real pics, of course.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I didn't drink at all. I just broke. Like, the funny thing is, I had a girlfriend as well while I did this gaming, because when I was doing the gaming, I was just coaching instead with the pickup, because I had a girlfriend, so I couldn't actually hit on other girls like really hard and stuff. Like I could just like wing it, you know, be a wingman and stuff. So I went out and was this wingman for people instead. It was fun, But sometimes, and I even had my girlfriend with me in town. She was also being wing girl for some of the guys and stuff. It was something we did together, kinda. But
Cool.
the problem with it was that it was so tempting to meet other girls as well, and just not having this girlfriend anymore. So at the end, I broke up with her. I broke up with her actually 3 times before it ended. So yeah, it's kind of savage, but yeah.
Yeah.
What's gonna say about it?
And how did you end up
What?
teaching it? How did you end up teaching it?
Because there was a lot of people that actually asked me if I could help them with it in the start. There was a lot of people because it came kind of natural to me. I don't know. I wasn't the best, of course, but I think I'm kind of funny in some way. I'm kind of retarded and funny, and I think the girls, they like that in some sense. And I just...
Yeah.
Don't you think so? That could be a thing. I don't know. I can be socially awkward. It's not a problem, like, and I don't care about if I'm socially awkward. I actually don't give a fuck. So yeah.
Yeah. People like when people don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That's also what I liked about the whole ISD thing, was that they did this self-amusement where they say some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I would actually tell them, I'll tell the girls when they ask me what do I do for a living, I told them I'm training 3-legged cats in my basement. I told them stuff like that. I'm training cats.
Nice.
That was my passion and stuff. It's such a big lie that of course they will think it's funny, you know. They just think it's funny, retarded, you know. They won't.
Yeah.
And then I don't need to explain that I maybe don't have a job right now. I'm just chilling after studies or whatever I'm doing. I don't want to say that. I just want to come up with some complete animalistic story instead, and just say,
Yep.
like, I'm just training 3-legged cats in my basement. It's my passion. And sometimes
It's good.
Yeah,
it's a
stuff like
diversion.
that. And I sometimes when I brought girls home with this story, I actually had some girls home with me, and then I had actually a basement where one of my friends lived. I just said, no, you can't go down there. That's my 3-legged cat's place, and they are sleeping, so don't bother them, please. And I dragged them into my room instead. So yeah, that was
Nice.
actually a good thing to do, you know.
Yeah. I did something similar, but mine was not as exaggerative. I said like I'm an archaeologist. I was thinking like I'm someone who goes and digs up bones out in the middle of Egypt, you know. I wanted it to appear like a joke, and at the time I thought it was like clear, but some people actually believed it. They're like, oh yeah, you're an archaeologist. So I had to switch it up after that. It wasn't as obvious.
Yeah, because also if I said what I actually was doing, because back then I was actually studying in law school and stuff, so I actually had some pretty good things to say. But I think it's still better to go with that funny story, because the other thing is just too serious, and they think I'm actually fucking serious, and I don't want to be like that, you know. It's more fun to be that kind of lower kind of guy that's just funny and doing funny shit than being some really like hardcore like provider kind of frame. Do you know this lower provider concept? Have you heard about that before? Or not, Velati?
Yes. I had to remember, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's like there's like 2 categories. There's actually 3. There's like a friend zone kind of
It's like
thing.
a giver and a taker, right?
The low end provider, that's more like if you're the provider, you're the one that can provide for you. You have like stable life, everything is good, and someone she would like as a boyfriend or whatever. But if you want to fall into the lower frame, you need to like flirt with her and fuck around with her, and it can be like more like the drug dealer kind of guy, you know, that's just fucked up and retarded, but she will still sleep with him once or twice, and then she will fall into a love with some provider kind of guy instead, if that makes sense, you know. So I don't know if that makes sense even, but the vibe is just.
I think I'd rather be the second one, right? Because then you get more of an equality POV. You also get more of like a give and take, rather than if you're a provider, you essentially could be used for your money or something.
Yeah, that's the exact problem, because if you like have both qualities in you, but if you're like the lower kind of guy instead, you will get to sleep with them at least, and then you can always fall a bit more into the other frame afterwards, you know. You can change it up a bit, but if you're the provider from the start, she can fuck with you, she can do everything like that, and she can like use your money or whatever she wants to do, you know. You don't want to provide before you get something in return, or actually before even, like, I don't know. You want to have fun. If you just want to have fun, that's the best part anyway, I think, for me at least.
Yeah, for sure.
But you were talking about a story, weren't you? Before I interrupted. Talking about your
No, it was
journey
the
a bit.
archaeology thing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But
You want to keep going on this topic, or do you want to do a back to RBG, or?
I think we can go a little bit more on this, don't you think so? Or do we want to keep switch it?
Sure, sure.
Like I just want to
No,
tell. I just really want to tell about that. That I actually crashed with this POA kind of thing because it was kind of me, but it wasn't really me anyway. And now I just want to say that I want to try to find a life balance where I meet people in life and in game, and I do whatever I find is me instead of chasing something that isn't me. That was just my last kind of point of this topic. That I think POA is good, but it's just like you need to have yourself into it. If you don't have yourself in it, it can fuck you over. That's just the downfall of it, I think. Yeah, we can go to another topic now if you want. I just wanted to cut it clean, you know.
Yeah, it's good. I think that goes for everything, right? If you do too much of one thing and you get too caught up in a small scope, like meaning like too zoomed in at something, you can fall behind in other aspects of your life.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
You may think it's going to keep up, but maybe it doesn't.
Oh, how did World of Warcraft influence your life? Do you think it was good, not good, or things like that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you find in real life other players?
I'm just gonna start with the first question. I think, like, if real life, can you just say the first question again? The first one you had.
Me?
Yeah, again.
How did World of Warcraft influence your life?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, it influenced a lot for sure on me, because I played it since I was a kid, like, and I kept playing it. I barely had any breaks, to be fair. I had a few breaks, and I did a lot in those breaks. I actually did so much in those breaks that it kind of made up for the lost time I had in gaming. So I think, I don't know. It's hard to say because you cannot really put it into perspective. Like, if you didn't have WoW, what would have happened? You know, I could probably have been something better in my life, but would I have been more happy? That also matters, like happiness. Would I have been more happy if I had something more like that, or would I be less happy, or what is the point? But yeah, I think I would have probably have been somewhere else, but probably less happy. That's what I think. What do you think, Velati? What about you?
Hard to say. I wonder the same. I don't know. Kind of not something I'm happy to admit, but maybe life would be better without WoW. I mean, you have great memories of nostalgia, but then there's that other bit where it's fulfillment. WoW is not long-term fulfilling. So.
Yeah, it's not, because it's not something you actually reach in achievements in real life with. It's just in game, you know.
Do you think you would have progressed more in life without this game?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the time. You have 8 hours a day minimum, right? That. You know.
So if you understand that, why don't you just don't quit World of Warcraft then?
Because
good question. Is it an addiction?
We are so deep down the rabbit hole. Now we go all in with it and make podcasts about it and embrace it, you know, instead. Like, I think that's the play for sure. Like, we are so deep down, we may as well go full retard, you know.
What stops you from quitting?
Maybe addiction.
Maybe just too much fun with friends, right? Like, I don't know.
But you can have fun with your friends in real life too, man.
No, they're boring, not gonna lie. Like, I swear, everyone I meet in real life is almost always boring.
To be honest, I rather would go with Velati to a bar and drink beer instead of play RBG or arenas or whatever.
But we're also planning that, so, yeah.
See, the thing is I would personally, I would rather hang out with a beer and do RBGs. So that's another thing, is I enjoy it so much that outdoor things, and maybe that is also part of the, I guess, instant gratification problem. That doing things like hiking and seeing a beautiful view, I don't feel these things as much as I probably should, because I'm so used to this insane amounts of dopamine from gaming,
Dopamine and stimulation in that sense, yeah.
and that's something I'd like to address as well.
To get unused from something, it takes time. So why don't you give yourself this time to get unused of it and get used to it? Other things which maybe would fulfill you much more. As you said,
I mean,
this game doesn't give you the fulfillment like long term.
because I think there's a balance that could be made with it, and I'm prepared to take that measure, like with next week not playing and stuff, and just trying to catch up on other things. Because I don't want to give it up permanently. You know, this is like it's not an addiction. That unwillingness to give it up permanently, but more so it's just simple enjoyment. You know, like I've met so many of my friends that I've known for like 15, 20 years on WoW that I keep in touch with, and there's more that I'm meeting that I'll keep in touch with for a long-term time. So I don't want to just write it away, because it is my childhood too, right? Like it's everything.
So you're gonna play when you feel so. That's it. That's kind of what you want to say, right?
What's that?
You want to play when you feel that you want to play, and not just be there because
so I have the doll. 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing is I'm at the moment playing because it's like the alternative is like doing a job application or something, you know. But
does it stop you from applying to jobs?
Well, like it's hard to say, right? Like, I think it would be ignorant to say no, because if I'm sitting here bored 8 hours a day instead of playing WoW, like what would I be filling that time with? Like you can't remove a variable and expect the other variables second and in third place are going to fill its spot. When you remove one variable, there could be something else that's unimagined right now that could come up and fill that, you know? So it's ignorant. It's ignorant for me to answer that question in any direction, because you just don't know. Are there times, obviously, that I should be doing something? Like, let's say yesterday, for example, I should be studying my language or applying to jobs, and I don't because I'm sucked into gaming. Yeah, those days do happen. But the other days also happen where I'm very good at like stepping away from something temporarily or getting like super focused to doing like a few hours of applications and just all kinds of work, really. So I'm not neglecting it, but I probably would be doing more, yeah. Would guess. But you just never know, you know? Maybe there's something else that would take that spot. I think it comes down to personalities, right? Like WoW is a very addictive thing, but there's other addicting things out there. For all we know, WoW stopped me from becoming a heroin addict or something, you know? For all of us, like we don't know this, right?
Absolutely right. I mean,
it goes both ways. It goes both ways. Maybe we're stopped from being a heroin addict. Maybe we were stopped from being a doctor. You know, like it can go either direction, really.
You can be both a dealer and playing well.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like you see the difficulty that it can cause in life, and you accept them. And I kind of do, to be honest, as long as it doesn't alter my life. Because like while playing games a lot, I found a way to move and transfer different places and live in 4 countries by choice around the world. Like if you can accomplish something big like that, then you can do things. You know, you're not on a wheelchair. So I just have to manage time maybe a bit better and prioritize. But I'm happy with it in my life, and I feel sorry for those that feel boredom in life, because I can't relate to these people anymore. Like, when's the last time you've actually been bored? And I don't mean like flying on Stormwind tops. I mean like literally sitting on your couch, bored, nothing. You have no idea what to do with your day. It's Sunday, all your friends are busy or whatever. You know what I mean? We don't experience this with gaming because there's always something.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But
that was a bit of a rant, but
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, boredom. I think boredom implements that.
Hello, I'm back.
I mean, I think boredom implies that you are not willing to do things which you could do, because boredom actually cannot exist if you keep yourself busy. That means you can read a book instead of sitting on the couch and watching the ceiling and asking yourself, oh, I have nothing to do. Yes, you always have something to do. You can read a book, you can clean up, you can go for a walk, you can do this and this and this. So boredom is a bit, I don't know, man. Boredom is just a word for people, an excuse who are too lazy to do something. Because boredom doesn't exist if people just take all opportunities they have, in my opinion.
But these things, boredom, laziness, demotivation. I mean, I found a way to be a full-time gamer and go to the gym for 12 years, 3 to 5 days a week, depending on my point in life. Maybe 3 to 7 days a week, depending on my point in life. So.
What's up, team? Are we pumping or what?
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah, is your headphone off or talking?
Can you not hear me? Good.
No, we hear you.
Let's go to the next question. Are we ending something? Or something you want to ask?
We were talking about WoW in your life. The impact.
Oh, yeah.
Do you regret it? Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it. I don't regret anything that happened.
If a magician would come and say, okay, let's replace World of Warcraft out of your life with something else, what would you choose?
I wouldn't. It's not like that. I think I wouldn't replace it.
That's the thing, right? Is we talk about fulfillment, but the fulfillment I think could be gotten. Like I feel like we go through everything for a reason. And sometimes I really ponder this, like maybe the gaming and the gym are both in my life because I'm supposed to teach people around the world how to connect these things. So I can't wish for something out of my life until I see at the very end of my life that it was not capitalized on. And even still, like maybe I just didn't see it. Maybe there was still a way to connect everything. I'm very optimistic like this.
Yeah.
So if I were to change it, I mean, I have no idea, man. Like,
nah. Okay. Let's go to the next question. I was kind of AFK, sorry about that. I had this thing coming up, but I'm here now completely.
Okay. Let me hear episode. Do you have an answer for yours if you were to ask yourself that?
Replace?
Yeah.
Oh yes, but this is quite personal and don't want to answer publicly.
Okay. For the
Okay,
next topic then.
let's go for the next topic. Okay, I have this question here. Why do you think people try hard games instead of real life? Like, why would you try hard? It's kind of like the similar, but
it's the same thing.
Isn't this game the part of a real life?
Nah, but I just mean like we could work on the thing with this question was that you could work full time on a business or you could game 10 hours a day, but we choose gaming instead. And why do we do that? Like, what does it give us back, you know? Like, that was the thinking about this. That's what I wrote down, but it's kind of similar to
Fast satisfaction.
Yeah,
it's a little similar, but if I were to answer it, I would say one of the things that I always hate with gaming, and this is an opinion probably not many people think about, but one of the things I always hate is when someone says it's just pixels, and it's a waste of time, things like this. And my counter argument to this always is, you're just molecules, you're gonna die. Or like, if they say it's just pixels, like who cares about loot? Or who cares about rating, whatever. Then my counter argument is always, don't you value your time? You're putting time into this, and you know, you should value your time. You have limited time on Earth. You should try to want to get the most out of it or something. Like, you know, depends what the situation is, I would answer, but I would go in regards to this, like try to throw it back because it does matter.
Yeah.
If we put time into something, that means we're emotionally invested into something. That means it has value to us. That means it's important to us. So why write it up and say it's not important? It's just pixels. Who cares? Who cares? Like, I care. It's fun to progress. It's fun to it's fun to make moves to get better. Yeah.
It was the same when Trax came in and said Kata is dead, and you just said we're all gonna die anyway. So what's the point? You know, we had that
exactly.
big, like,
I'm gonna take a shower tomorrow. What's the point of taking a shower today? It's like a weird logic. You do it, but the answer to that, the answer I was going for is, you do it for the journey. What if Kata next season dies in 2 weeks? Fine, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna have the most fun 2 weeks that I'm gonna have for the entire year. That's my answer.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care if it dies in 2 weeks, 2 months. I'm gonna enjoy every last second of it, and I'm gonna have a memory that's with me forever. I've never had a legendary and used it in PvP before, and I will have that chance now. And I'm gonna soak every second of it.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense. But to go back to the
there you
question,
go.
I have one last thing I wanted to say as well, at least. That was, why tryhard games instead of real life? Like, can't we just combine it? Isn't it all real life anyway, to be honest? Like, isn't it all real life? Even though it may be just pixels, but I don't think it is. I think there's something more to it. Like, we're doing all these things to make real games against each other and have a great time. We could do this at bars, we could do this at here. But we do it at the WoW instead, and yeah, I think it makes sense to me.
I think with gaming, it cannot go as far as real life, but it can be close sometimes, if you know what I mean. Because WoW is more than just pixels, because it's community, it's friendship. There's everything in a human sense is involved. Hierarchies, everything in this regard. And then there's an emotional investment with relationships with people, with emotional investment with your time spent, and you just want to spend your time wisely. All of this is involved. But I think the long-term thing with WoW cannot be compared to real life. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Real life goes obviously further and picks them further apart, but yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next question I have here then. If that was it for that one. Because it was kind of similar to the ones episode had as well, so yeah. But let's go to the next one here. I have one. How to get rank 1 World of Warcraft and the in real life sacrifices. This is what I wrote here. Like, what would you sacrifice from getting these titles and stuff? Like, is it worth it in the end of the day to sacrifice your real life for titles?
Can you repeat the question, sorry?
It may not be that clear actually. I maybe wrote a bit wrong, but the question is just how to get real life rank 1 World of Warcraft, and which sacrifices from real life does it give, you know?
How to get rank 1 and what sacrifices does it make?
Yeah, like, what do you sacrifice to get rank 1? Like you know, episodes you had that prideful god, I know, and we are getting hero as well and stuff at least, and what does it sacrifice? Like, what do you miss out on because you're getting this? Like, that was kind of the question.
Oh, nothing.
No.
It's just like anything. If you want to be the best in the world at something, you have to maybe sacrifice time. Maybe friendship. I don't. It depends who you step on, maybe, but I would say just time. If you want to be the best chef in the world, you got to put a lot of time into it. If you want to be the best of anything.
It probably also depends on how good a player you actually are. Like, for me personally, sacrificing time and stuff to get something in the game, it takes a lot because I'm not naturally that good. I need a lot of games to actually get good at playing. Like, I need to actually play warm games, and I need to fucking play slow games as well to get warm and think. I'm fucking slow at learning it. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, it takes a long time for me to get good at something in the game. So it takes a lot of sacrifice, more than maybe it takes for Velati. He's probably, at least for sure, a bit better at learning things quick, and so he probably needs less sacrifice than I need to take for it, you know? That was just what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course it takes sacrifices. Like, no one just, unless you're multi-rank 1 or something, then you can get rank 1 pretty easy probably. But it will still take some sacrifice. It's time you go spend it elsewhere, you know? So.
But no one's born rank 1, right? You have to try and learn and progress.
There's one question here, I think, from Learn to Play. Say, I like hearing Velati speak too. We think the same way about many things. And then he's saying as well, the time we waste in WoW, there are many people who wasted watching TV, gossiping with friends, playing fantasy football, working overtime for shit and underpaid jobs. Yeah, I think that's a good point as well.
Yeah, it's like when you play a gaming, you're able to put so much time into one thing and not even need to play other games, but you also get so much out of it outside of, like, look at the people that play single player gaming, right? They're sitting there by themselves following a story. Or people that read fictional novels all the time, like bookworms, right? There's no social interaction in these things. So, like, So here's another big thing that I forgot to mention this earlier. With WoW, I not only am playing a game and learning how to efficiently do quests or whatever. These are like really small things, right? But like I became so good at like marketing and advertising. Have you ever like tried to buy and sell something out of the auction house? Did you ever do it every day? To where like I'm like naturally good at like stock market stuff because I know how to like I open up graphs, I look at things, on third-party websites, on add-ons, and I can have a really steady cash flow. I also bought TCG mounts before for gold, and I sold them for higher amounts of gold. I've done everything, and you can monetize things too. Because I know how to do PvP, I can do 2's cap carries, for example, right? You monetize things that you wouldn't think. So it shapes your brain in this way, and WoW can teach you these things when you're exposed to it. WoW it's like a world. It's not just a game, right? Because you're using marketing, advertising, all these skills, right? Like in investing, these are all involved. And on top of that, social skills. You know, what single player game has this? None. So it's not just a game in that sense. It's double dipping in real life in that way. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's not like someone watching Netflix all day. So that's the point I wanted to make.
That's also my problem with, not problem necessarily, but the thing I can't relate to people that are not playing games in that sense because they watch television and Netflix all the time and all these other things. Like, I just can't really cope with it because I don't do these things. I just like to play games whenever I have time to do that, and else I will do other things, you know. But I'm always doing something. I can't just sit still and just watch nothing, you know. Like, that doesn't work for me. And that's probably like stimulation problem or something, but in the end of the day, yeah, it just is what it is, I guess. Okay.
I think it's a really good point to make, though, is all of the different insane skills. Like, I mean, I don't think I'm good at applying the jobs, right? Because the proof isn't there. But I think I understand the concept of how to apply for jobs and how to tell like small lies and get away with it rather than be caught. Learning how to interview. Like I've done guild interviews before in Discord one-on-one for like higher up guilds, right? Like all of these things, interviewing like CVs. WoW teaches you all these things. Recruiting for communities. I mean, you learn all of these things in WoW. It's crazy, man. So I really wanted to emphasize that point. I love that the game teaches so much about life indirectly.
Yeah, it does. It actually comes to another question I wrote here in the start. I just skipped it for now, but I will go back to it. It's another question. It's like, if you could combine leading in RBG and leading in real life, what is the comparison and what is the differences?
Personality types will always be different. People's goals may be different. The way you talk to people needs to be different. With you, you can be flamed. With me, I don't like being flamed. I will perform worse if you flame me. You will maybe perform better. You say that, but I don't know if that's true yet.
It depends.
So personalities are always a factor. And if you're a leader, you have to understand what motivates people. How do you get people to play better? How do you keep people coming back? That's a big one. Are their goals the same? You know? Did you say lead an RBG team or play an RBG team?
I usually lead my RBG teams, and I can tell.
No, was the question.
Oh.
Was it lead or play? I forgot.
I said leading RBG and leading in real life. The comparison. Okay. That was the thing.
I think it's very similar because leading implies that you're achieving a goal with others. So people are people in game and real life. So it's very similar in that way. As long as you're knowledgeable about the goal and the topic, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think so as well, actually. Like, I cannot really work on a project without starting to lead it because I lead so many RBGs. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, whenever there's something going on, I kind of want to take the charge and do something before someone else does something because I don't want to wait for the right moment or something. I'm just going like, with this podcast, we talk about it like for 5 minutes. We want to do it, and they tell me to write some things down, and then we go, okay, I have someone at my door in 15 minutes. Okay, we do it anyway. And then just have to FK then. Like, this is how it is. I just want to get going. I don't want to like sit and wait for something to happen, you know? Don't know if that's necessarily
Yeah.
only about leading, but it's just about doing stuff instead of just waiting for the right moments. And you can always wait for the right
Sure.
moment. It's just not always going to happen anyway. Just go with the flow and just get going.
Yeah. And that might be my problem, is sometimes waiting too much for the right moment. It's a life thing.
And my problem may be just to do too many impulsive things for no reason. So that's probably why we would be a good combination with doing stuff together, because I'm very
Yeah,
like
maybe.
go-getter and maybe you're a little bit more holding back, and that's also good for me, you know.
Conservative.
Yeah, I'm really
Very
like,
true. Very
I'm
true.
just insta there, like,
Good point.
I waste a lot of money in my life on random bullshit because I'm always just grabbing the next idea, you know. Like,
Yeah, I'm the opposite, bro. I'm
like,
the opposite. When I was a kid,
I'm like
my-
insta, you know. I won't even wait a fucking split second, bro. I'm insta there, man.
Oh, bro. I'm the complete opposite. When I was a kid, I basically lived with my grandparents my whole life, and they taught me how to save. They were very like frugal, very conservative. And when I was a kid, I think for so many like 6 years, I saved all of my birthday money, all the the little jobs I had younger. And when I turned 18, I took a giant trip to Mexico.
Nice.
I never spent small money. I would always do big purchases, like after a long time thinking and saving. So yeah, we are definitely opposite in that way.
That's good as well. Like, it doesn't need to be the same always. We can be the same about a lot of
Yeah.
things and then different about others. It's not bad.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I have actually a big
Alright,
question
next
here.
one.
This is the real good question here, I think. I don't know. We'll see. I just wanted to have like a real classic versus retail, the breakdown. Let's fucking do it. Why do
What?
why do we play classic instead of retail, and what's good and bad about the two?
To be honest, almost all classic players are people who experienced playing kata. There are a lot of retail players, they never experienced how is kata, and they're not playing. And a lot of, I mean, I'm playing kata because I know kata, and it's like I know this gameplay and I know how. Yeah, retail is something absolutely new after 8 years, and I don't like it. I think many people feel the same.
I can answer pretty objectively. I play each
Yeah.
for its content, and I prefer the graphics objectively in Kata. For start, it's a very small thing. The big thing is I much prefer the combat style in Classic. I prefer when things are able to be managed and controlled, and I feel like there's a lot of craziness in retail that makes it not as fun. I also like, this goes with combat, I like seeing one number on the screen or two numbers on the screen for my damage. But on retail, it's like you have so many random things doing damage that it doesn't really feel like it's you doing it anymore, and that leads to a very unsatisfied feeling. I mean, I see people almost like turn off combat numbers because it gets so chaotic sometimes. So I think all of these add up to gameplay and feel, and I think Kata just feels better, more complete. There's a better balance in my opinion too. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's just like, I like both games as well for what they are. But what I don't like is that retail is so much like a solo game now. Solo RPG, solo arena, it just kills the actually community-driven content where people queue up together and play the game they love. Like, it's just because people are lazy and don't want to sit and farm. And I understand they don't have time maybe. But I have time and I want to spend that time with people I like playing with and not some random monkeyloids that are fucking in the game, like, I swear. Like, I don't know why it has to be so solo-oriented, the retail. But it's probably what the community wants, but it's not what I want, to be honest. That's why I will go back to Kata. Main reason.
Oh, kind of personal.
Yeah, it's
POV
personal,
thing.
of course. It's not something you can
Maybe
say the
some
one
people
is
feel the
better
way.
than the other, and I'm not gonna say it, sit it and say that classic is better than retail or something, because honestly the retail gameplay is not bad, but I just don't like that it's solo oriented and not team oriented. Like, playing with randoms is not my thing. I'd rather just queue a random bit on classic then.
I think retail, the combat can feel fun in short play sessions, but it doesn't feel long-term fun, if that makes sense. Like, I can raid on my DK or my Shadow Priest for hours in Kata and not get bored. I love that the combat feels fun. Like, the boss's mechanics are simple but fun. It's not too much, you know. I'm not saying retail is too much. I haven't raided in a long time. I've heard that it can be, but I'm speaking more again to gameplay and combat feeling. That's like one of the most important things in games for me is how does your character feel when you move it? How does the combat feel? How do the abilities flow together? And I feel like Kata just hits it so perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like also, I was waiting over 1 year for Cataclysm. I was prepping, leveling a million alls, like 40, 50 alls, from just playing Kata. Like, I wanted to play RBG, I wanted to have a lot of characters. I didn't want to miss out on that, so I just prepped a lot of shit for it. I literally prepped 1 year before Cataclysm. So why would I play a lot of retail then if I prepped 1 year for a game? Well, I was bored for a while because there was some things I didn't like in Kata, and I came for retail, but now I'm 100% back on Kata, like for sure. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, I think that was that for that question, don't you think so?
Yeah, that's about it for that. Yeah. Simple.
I only have one last question, then we can try round up and maybe come with one more or something and see what, if the chat has some questions, you can prep that. There was one question here actually. Why do you not drink fucking water? Well, I do drink water, but I just like energy drinks, and I'm gonna admit it that it's bad, but it is what it is. I'm gonna drink more water, and I'm drinking a lot of water as well, but when I'm gaming I wanna drink energy drinks, and it's bad, but it's a better of two evils or whatever you call it. There's other bad things as well that I maybe don't do then. I don't go out and do stupid shit a lot. I just stay here. So yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, there's always going to be better and worse, right?
Yeah, it's not like, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Well, it's not only selection like that, you know, always. It's just like, it's pretty bad, but I got my blood work fixed, and they don't say anything bad about the energy drinks anyway. It's whatever.
On that note, I'm gonna grab a nice can of full sugar Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm grabbing energy drink as well.
Thanks.
On that. We'll try to see.
Yeah, thanks, stream. We have Coca-Cola, full sugar. Here we go. There it is.
Yes, hello.
Right.
I'm back. But yeah.
I know your answer to this question is no.
What?
So I won't ask it to you.
What?
What I was gonna ask is, have you ever felt that playing WoW stopped you from trying other games?
Yeah, for sure it has.
And-
Always. I don't like other games. I have no reason to play them because I don't want to be worse at other games and play them. I don't want to learn a new game when I can play something I know.
The question maybe didn't come out as I intended. What I meant is, do you ever wish that you were able to try other games but didn't because you were playing WoW? And I think for me, I kind of wish that I tried Skyrim when it was like super hot, like all the way maybe 10 years ago, because it is like my picture perfect theme. It's like a fantasy world with like an old warrior or old Viking warrior or whatever, and it's like picture perfect me fantasy, but never got into it, and now it's just so outdated. I don't even know if I'd be able to enjoy it. But it has WoW music, like it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just
Small little thing.
I just like WoW too much, and I'd rather not play than play WoW. So it's either not playing or playing WoW, and I liked WoW, so I play that. You know.
Yeah.
It's a bit troll, but yeah, I don't feel like playing more games. WoW already takes enough time.
Do you regret having WoW in your life? I think we asked this already, but
One guy here, one second, one guy called Prophecy is saying, 100% I want to play Breath of the Wild, but thinking hours there made me feel bad for not farming WoW consumables or doing BGs.
yeah, that was another one. Zelda and Skyrim were probably the two most popular games. that I would have liked to have tried, but the single player and as a WoW player, it's kind of hard to move away from a community-based game and play single player. So I don't regret it. It's not like a big thing, but it would have been nice to check it out, get the hype.
Yeah, for sure. Well, did you have more questions right now? Like, did you come up with?
Yeah. Do you regret having WoW, or do you wish WoW wasn't? Probably a double question for you.
I don't know. I kind of wish there was no WoW, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't regret anything I did in my life. I only regret things I didn't do. So I wish there was no WoW for the sake that I would have done different things and done more in my life. But at the same time, I don't regret what I did, and I can take it from here, you know. And I can still shape my life.
Yeah. Well, shape your life assumes that it's unshaped, and I mean, if there's a lot of aspects of life that are filled up at WoW, maybe you just need to top some things on top of that. You don't have to replace it, and that's how I view it, to be honest. I think WoW really satisfies like personal enjoyment, hobby, social. I think the only thing that I'd like to do a bit more is have some more money to travel, do a job I love, and that's really it, man. Like I don't need that much more than I'm pretty content. Maybe combine WoW with like my IRL career. Right? Maybe tie it in, even in a hobby format, right? Like, let's say I'm a teacher in a school, right? You can compare getting better at a teacher, compare it to doing WoW and make a YouTube video out of it. You know, like these are ways you can connect things, even though they're not directly connected. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's also why I wanted to do this podcast with you and stuff and get this thing going. Like, I know we start kind of like just like going straight into it, but it's better to start randomly and to never start at all, and we can always take it from there. You know, get more organized next time. I just wanted to get going. You know. But there's some questions here in the chat as well, I think. How old are you, Shreddy? I'm 33 right now. Yeah.
Ooh. Damn.
Still young, can still do a lot without quitting WoW. Yeah, I'm doing a lot. Like, the thing
exactly,
is,
you don't have to quit.
The other thing for me is, like, I don't desperately need to work right now or something. Like, I'm actually kind of like that as well. So, I would like to do something for myself that would make sense to do. So, not just working 9 to 5 for something, but for something I didn't want to do. But I don't need to do that. I can do whatever I find passion in, and it doesn't need to make money right away. It can take 1 year, it can take 2 years. It doesn't even matter. So yeah.
You want to know an interesting puff?
Yeah.
Is that like some people may say you have to quit gaming to do whatever, right? But I feel like these people sometimes are running away from the problem, because the problem that really is they can't manage time or can't discipline themselves and manage urges or something like this, right? But the real problem is they can't control themselves, so they should learn how to control themselves and balance their time rather than run away from the problem, which really is their self-control. So that's another thing that, you know,
my willpower is not always that strong and control. And
and it's like a muscle, right? It's not on or off, it's a muscle. You have to train it.
It's the same when you like
little
talk
things.
too much about something that maybe doesn't, it conflicts with what I think or something. My brain just shuts off a bit, and I need to work on that.
Yeah, like you ever hear Jordan Peterson or whoever you listen to, they'll say like, if you're depressed, wake up in the morning and make your bed. You know why? Not only because it's a small victory, but because you're teaching yourself to have structure and to do things that you don't typically want to do, but you're starting small. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, going to the gym, all these things.
There's another question here as well. Okay, next question, and this includes my opinion on humankind and not meant in an offensive way towards anyone in chat, etc. Do you think having a solid job and a real life that is fulfilling do with joy is a must-have? Because my opinion, some people just live off welfare, which is basically tax money that I work for, and I think these people are forced to work, or if they're not disabled in a way that should stop them seriously from working. I don't know, this question is a bit weird, but He's just
What was the
saying.
question? I didn't hear a
You can read
question.
it. You can read it as well. I don't see the question really. Do you think having a solid job and real life that's fulfilling with joy is a must-have? I don't think it's a must-have, but if I for some reason don't need to work right now, why would I force that on myself? If I don't need to work some 9 to 5, if I don't have to, why wouldn't I just try complete my dreams and work from there and make money from there at some point whenever I can?
I think I understand the question. I don't think having a job that is fulfilling is a requirement of life, but I think being fulfilled in life, I think Jordan Peterson says, and I quote him because I agree with this when he says that it's like a moral obligation. I think we all owe it to ourselves, and in a sense, we owe it to our community, because if you're miserable, you're going to take it out on other people as well, right? So it's better to be happy so you can treat others around you happy. So I think it's like an obligation to, well, they say like happiness, right? Happiness is fulfillment, like progression, right? You feel all these things are kind of connected. Maybe I'm jumping around a bit, but that's kind of what I think
No,
about
but
that.
he's also jumping a bit around with the question, I think. So it's kind of hard to not jump around, I guess. But it's fine. And he says also, should be forced to work a job if they don't disable in any way that stops them. Well, you can describe disabled. There's both a physical and there's also a mentally disabled thing, you know? Like, it's not only physical, it's not always just what you see, you know? Like just like that. Because, for example, I can take myself as an example. I maybe feel really good when I play games, but I have some deep things I deal with, like with some diagnosis and shit that isn't that funny and stuff. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, and I got some diagnoses for that, and it's not the only reason why I don't need to work. When I also have some money I earned before and money I saved up and stuff. But I don't really need to work a 9 to 5 right now because of this situation as well. So it's just how the countries are designed. Like, I live in Denmark and it's pretty good like that. So why would I force myself to work if I don't need to, in that sense that that I'm trying to build up something bigger, you know? I'm not trying to lead on something, I'm actually trying to build up something bigger and something that I really want to work with as well. So it's not, I don't think it's necessarily being lazy, to be honest. I don't think lazy is the right word. Of course I don't like if people just leeching on society and fucking around. I don't like that, of course. But at the same time, I also think that people should chase their dreams and do what they think is best for how they can contribute to society in any way. Don't know what your thoughts on that, Velati.
No, I was thinking about when you said chase your dreams. Made me think about how you said you wish WoW wasn't around. But what if you were playing WoW? Because WoW has like the best outreach, right? Like it. I mean, I guess it could be compared to something like Instagram itself. But like WoW, you have an outreach to everyone around the world that are semi like you, right? So if I was trying to be an online trainer, I might actually like post in Stormwind Trade. I mean, seriously, like that's not a bad platform to try to meet men around your age that are probably looking to better their life, but are maybe afraid to go out, so they want to have an online trader. I mean, it's an amazing place. So I was just thinking, like, if you regret WoW, why not? Like, you're here, why not try to look at it? And you mentioned live your dream. Why not embrace it and try to find your meaning or your place in this world via this, right? Whether it be meeting people here that you can do something off WoW, or maybe you do something more community based. Maybe you save lives, and I don't know. You know, you just dream big with it, right? Like, because you have an outreach, you have a way to talk to people your age around the world of similar mindset, gamers, right? But maybe you can provide a service or something to them, or I don't know.
That's also why I have a big announcement later today at 5. I have a big announcement for today. So stuff happening in the scene, not just being completely boring, and I hope not, at least. Yeah, that's also why I really want to get started making more YouTube and reach out to people, because either I'm all in with this or I'm not, you know. I'm just don't want to sit and play games and fuck around. I want to do something, or I don't, you know. I just need to do something else. So yeah.
I think we're good to go to the next topic
Yeah,
now,
let's go
unless
for
you
the next
want
one.
to add something.
That was just one last topic here, but you can ask more questions if you have other questions, guys, and stuff. It's completely cool. There was one here. Toxic/flaming versus being a normal human being. What does it do to the players if you're like flaming others and if you're just being normal? What is the difference? What does it do to the people it surrounds?
I feel like we talked about this before when I mentioned
Yeah,
leading
that's why I
RBGs
wanted-
with different personalities.
Yeah,
A little bit.
we talked about this better another time, I think, as well. When I was toxic or some bullshit, you know. Like,
Yeah, I
you mentioned
think
this.
keep the answer short. I think
Yeah.
different personalities react differently. I would say majority of humans, when you flame them, which flaming means criticize their actions with a negative way without having empathy, right? That would be flaming in my eyes. And I would say the majority of people tend to play worse, tend to feel a bit rejected, and tend to not have as much fun as they would have if it didn't happen. And yeah, I think some people can work better with it than others. Maybe if people are more emotionally abused in their life, they could probably handle it better because it's not as high on a scale, maybe. But I think generally, if you can handle something with a bit more empathy, it not only would help them learn better, but would help them keep that positive attitude. Because like, if you've ever been flamed, you might notice that like you kind of feel bad. You're like extra watching your abilities. You're extra doing this, and that might cause you to take away your attention on something else, right? And that kind of has a little bit of an adverse effect. So maybe a hot take, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point for sure. I'm not completely agreeing though. I think some flame is good actually. I think actually people will play better if they get this, not complete personal annoying toxic flame of course, but just if they get some like soft flame. I think soft flame is fine, but being really insulting and shit is not fine. Like, I think if I do some like kind of troll flame, it's okay. People will actually play a bit better, I think, to be honest.
Well, troll flame, right? Well, hold on. So what I said there's zero empathy, right? That's the example I gave. If you're saying troll flame is basically another way to say passive aggressive, right? Because you're saying it in a way that you want them to pay attention, but you're not being hypercritical and insulting.
Yeah.
So that is different. I think that is a way that's like in the middle, right? The best way to do it, in my opinion, is to point out a problem and offer a solution and try to help with the solution. You offer support. Like that's what like good friends would do, right? And then you have like the middle of that. The middle of that is what you're saying, where you kind of troll it, you point out a problem, you kind of leave them with it, and hopefully they realize it, but they don't probably feel too bad. And then you have, and then we have something like this.
It's not me.
Why the fuck do we charge back?
He
Go
chopped
for the
us
fucking
back.
That would be toxic flame.
I think that's just fun flame, like honestly, I don't know. I don't. Of course, I scream when he's so fucking trash, fucking out of nowhere, dog shit player.
Yeah.
I don't think that's toxic, man. But
That's like the worst you could do. It doesn't get much worse.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
that,
just holding the button.
Now shut
I
the
mean,
fuck
you
up
can, like-
alone as well, please.
You can maybe like wish cancer on his mother. That might be like a step worse, but it's pretty close to that. Yeah. So I mean, that's about it for that.
Oh my god, I'm in a good mood now, but holy shit, this is good. Anyway, I want to kind of round off for today. I think if someone has some more questions, maybe Velati episode or maybe the chat has one last question, then we can round off for today. What do you think? Something we missed out on, or is that it for now?
One big question is from me, Velati.
Yo.
What are you planning to do for the community?
Be cute.
Hmm?
Be cute.
To Q.
Yeah, be cute. I'm the cutest. I'm the Velati muffin.
Cutest. Yeah, exactly, man. The real. Anyway, I think that was it for now. I'm gonna go play some video games and maybe turn off the stream a bit. What do you think, Velati?
You know what I could do?
No?
I can offer online personal training for gold. Hey, that's what I can do. That's what I'll do for the community.
That benefits
be
you
online.
more.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't say donation work.
We need
So
to make
what are you gonna
we need to make a website for it, then we can actually do it, man. I'm gonna make a website then, if I can. I'm just
There you go.
make a website, but I can try
do it.
help you. It could also be for money, you know, in the long run. Who knows? If it only has to be about gold, we'll be a few WoW tokens down. Shit, man.
Oh, well, I can do it for money because it's not in-game service, right? So no TOS. Yeah, boy.
Depends if it's the character that gets pumped in game as well. Then you maybe need to. Maybe it's against
True. True.
Like both, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's round it up and play some video games or what? What are we playing? Thanks for watching, guys. That was it for the podcast. And of course a little alo 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 in the end. Then we are done.
That's right. Next time I want your camera full screen, bro.
Yeah.
What is this half screen shit?
Yeah, I want you on the screen. That's
Can-
why I
can-
made
can-
space for you, man.
Can you make a split screen, like one side Alan, one side you?
Yeah,
Velati?
I can just call him on Discord and have his cam in here, man. I don't give a flying. Man.
Go for
My
it.
camera broke.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it-
send you one. No,
you're
I don't
fucking-
give a flying.
You have your phone, man. You have your phone. You can come with your phone.
Can come on your what?
My phone's dead.
No, I
okay.
don't give a flying. man.
Legit answer, bro.
Yeah, why not have a camera? Man? Why not? Why are you afraid?
Let's get a third person in here.
Yeah,
They can use cam.
Yeah, sure. Episode can as well, though.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
for
a
sure.
feed critic make some feed pictures. I don't give a flying fuck. Man. Shit, man.
Feed critic? Didn't he get yelled at?
What? No, he didn't. I never heard.
Oh, he didn't?
Feed critic, come back here. Where are you going? What the fuck are you doing? Come back.
Is that a different feed critic?
Cab angle. That's the right one. It's the RBG cab angle, bro, I think.
But one big question a lot of people have for RPG: what lineup you recommend?
Everything needs a FC, 3 healers, and a
Uh-huh.
bloodlust.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
requirement.
Oh, that's a requirement. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the answer, bro.
That's the requirement.
We do a 9 a.m. podcast every day.
Yeah, we can do every day. I don't mind. We just spread on the content. It's good. Maybe we write then. We write some questions the night before, and then we do it 9 a.m. in the morning.
Or people submit questions on Discord news section, podcast question,
Yeah, do it, man.
and then we make it a topic.
Make some rules.
No, like community. Yeah, at one point there was like 21 people watching, bro. Surely someone has a question they're gonna think of later, and they can
Yeah.
talk
About
it. for
it's
the
about
boys.
anything you want to know about WoW or real life. You know.
Bro.
And if we don't have something to answer, we don't. This is how it is. Then ask someone else. But we may have something, you know. Are we doing RBG? RBG. It's an RBG angle, bro.
RBG.
RBG.
Just a new broadcast. Kata RBG. Biggest announcement